Listen, you may have your own thoughts on AI, right? You may love using GPT or GPT, whatever, to oh, show me how I would look if I had fairy wings and a mullet. You know what I mean? All these things. But fact is fact. It's kind of ruining the planet a little bit. A little bit being an understatement. It's killing a lot of industries. I know people that have lost their jobs because it's been handed over to AI. It's not a good thing, right? Okay, so this is Elijah, and he had his likeness stolen by AI by a much bigger brand, Huffer. I don't know who the hell Huffer is. What do they do? Crack?
So I just got blocked by an ex-client for commenting,
Oh,
yo, that AI model actually goes kind of hard. Hi, my name's Elijah, and for those that don't know me, I'm a model in New Zealand, from New Zealand, and this all started when I was scrolling past an ad and I noticed an image that looked very similar to me. But as I zoomed in, it wasn't me, and then I thought it was my brother because my brother also has modeled for this client. But then it was neither of us. It was almost like both of us combined. And that's when I realized it was AI. Now, although I wasn't 100% on this, I started bumping into like other models, photographers, etc. And they were talking about how this brand are using AI and how it was actually affecting them. Now,
see, that's a whole other industry that AI affects. Models, the fashion industry, models, photographers, editors, post-production, makeup artists. That's a whole group of people affected by
the
AI
whole premise of
visuals.
this video isn't to shame a brand for using
Shame
AI
them a little
models.
bit.
Like, it
Shame
is
them a
what it
little bit.
is. From a business perspective and like where the economy's going, you kind of see it happening sooner rather than later. But being super shady about it, denying that you're using the likeness of previous models or even current models that you're using,
That's
and
crazy.
then blocking one of your models that used to
Yes.
represent you
Yeah.
because he called you out on it, I do not
Guilty.
tolerate at all. I believe if you're going to be using AI models, then stand 10 toes deep.
The issue is AI, generative AI has to pull from somewhere. It's gonna, they probably pop pictures of all the models they've done, like replicate pictures or models like these people. You know what I mean?
And let the people
You're
choose
stealing.
whether they agree with your use of AI models or not. But being shady about it and blocking a model, super shady. But I
Super
would love to
shady.
know what everyone thinks about AI, specifically AI models. If you're a creative photographer, videographer, etc., comment your thoughts on AI and whether you kind of agree with it or whether you don't agree with it. I'd love to know where you're coming from because this is just crazy.
Well, yeah, Elijah, I don't agree with it. I think it's quite literally taking people's jobs. And I think it looks cheap and shit.
Okay, guys, so Huffer just responded, but we're going to have to wait for part three because I've listened to the feedback and the overall response, and I truly believe this story needs way more context than provided. Now, very quickly, just want to thank everybody for sharing their thoughts, feelings, and experiences with AI. You've definitely been heard, and I think this topic being addressed is long overdue. Now, what you do know is I got blocked by Huffer, and they supposedly used AI to create a model version of me, but what you don't know are the finer details. Now, it all started about 2 months ago when I scrolled past the image of what looked like me and my brother and honestly didn't think anything more of it. It wasn't until more recently I bumped into a couple of model friends and they would kind of express their concern and frustration.
I just want to reiterate that them making models using AI is literally taking these people's faces and using their faces for free, right? That's the issue.
With
One of the issues.
Huffer's usage of their likeness pretty much, and
Yeah,
how they had taken the shoot they had originally done and turned it into AI.
right.
Now, I had only known about one model this had happened to. I didn't realize about all the other people that I've now been reached out to that have been
That's
affected,
crazy.
and there's quite a
Wearing
few
the
that
same
is
clothes.
pretty concerning. Now, despite all the evidence that was in front of me, I still didn't believe it was enough to abruptly call out Huffer.
And you know what? Even if you're like down for AI models, whatever, make a unique model. But then you can't really because you have to take the features from somewhere. That's how generative AI works. So you have to take from somewhere. So they're always taking from something or someone that exists, right?
However, like weeks went by and I was just getting slammed with all these ads from Huffer and I couldn't kind of escape it. And so I decided to dig a little bit deeper and decipher what real models they were using, what AI models they were using. In New Zealand, the model industry is relatively small. So all the models know
You would
everybody.
know each other.
And I can confidently tell you these are just some randomly generated AI generated models. Not that I have a problem with that, you know, but what I do have a problem
I
is I found
do.
they were being quite sneaky about it. So they were kind of mixing in AR models with real models.
You're allowed to say you have a problem with generative AI because it is killing the world and we do live on the planet. So you are allowed to say, that these data centers are loud and annoying and, it's using a lot of water. You are allowed to say that, you know?
Kind of posting an AR
It
model
is a
and then
bad
posting a
thing.
real model, and kind of, getting away with it because the social media climate at the moment, people just kind of swipe,
Yeah.
swipe, swipe. Not many people look into the details. So I just think that's very misleading, and that is also something that raised a red flag when it came
I
to
mean, even when people watch something, they don't bother to look further into
kind of
details.
giving my reasons to create this video.
Now, it wasn't until I stumbled across
Oh,
one of their posts and the AI model actually looks really good. And I just remember thinking like, damn, you guys are getting really good at this. So I just remember commenting what I commented, yo, that AI model actually goes hard. If I was being honest, I was trying to be a little
of
cheeky,
course.
maybe a little sarcastic, but ultimately I was trying to find out where they stood, kind of inviting them to comment and maybe be a bit playful, saying, yeah, AI is the way forward, ha 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 ha. Instead, I got blocked and they deleted my comment. And to make things 10 times worse, I messaged my agent and they had told me two of the agents at Red 11, who I represent, had been blocked as well, which was a massive
Oh,
red flag for me. So me being me, I decided to voice how shady they've been and how they've
good.
handled this whole situation horribly.
So if they're using AI, like AI is scraping writers and music and all sorts, if they're using your image and your looks, surely they have to put a credit on there saying this is an
Right?
AI creation, because
Right.
some
Isn't that
companies
law?
do, right?
What have
Not.
Huffer said about this?
They basically have made it personal, and one of the comments she made was maybe he should think about why he's not getting any work, or
No,
why
they
he's not getting a
didn't.
book,
Okay.
along those lines.
Yeah.
And then she goes on to basically say that it's computer assisted technology. Did you see the TVNZ?
So you're not using AI to, create different pictures of them?
She
That's crazy. Why are brands like this? Why do they get so personal? Also, if you don't know that there might be some upset about you using AI, why are you blocking people? Surely you stick to your guns. Yeah, we're using AI, we love it. You know what I mean? Like, surely if you think everything's fine and dandy, you know?
Just
Insane.
giving everyone an update.
Elijah,
I'm just giving everyone an update that I have massive reasons to believe that someone has disabled my account because of that video and because I'm speaking out about the situation. I think the video that I posted was completely reasonable, completely fair, and what's happening is super fucked up. So I think what I'm saying is good, and that's why it's trying to be suppressed. So if everybody here can do me a favor, because I'm getting a lot of people asking about what's going on, can you just please like, reshare, repost, just tell everybody about it, how my account's getting disabled over voicing an opinion over AI, because it's super fucked up. Like, this
Yeah,
is not
it's
something I
insane.
would think would happen in New Zealand. This is something I would imagine like hearing about that happened in America. Like, oh yeah, I got my account deleted for speaking out. But this is not something I would expect to have in New Zealand. So please share. Lots of love. I'll keep you guys updated.
What account is he talking about? Because it's right here.
So welcome back for all of those that have missed out. This situation has blown way out of proportion, and what was once a situation of discussion about my concerns for AI has ultimately turned into what I believe is Huffer intimidating me and threatening me. Now, recently I got my account disabled for violating Instagram's community.
So it says, we suspended your account, Elijah. 180 days left to appeal or will permanently disable your account. For what, though? Your account or activity on it doesn't follow our community standards on account integrity.
Guidelines, quote unquote, hate speech. And what I
Oh.
find really, really interesting is what has happened in the lead up before my account got disabled. So 6th of June, around midday, is when I received two letters, one of which was a legal letter from Huffer's lawyers, and another letter was from Kate Berry herself threatening me. In summary, but not limited.
Okay, wait, because this is deep. Okay, it says, Dear Elijah, this is from Kate, the owner. Dear Elijah, we are aware of your recent social media posts referring to Huffer and our team members. You are entitled to express your views, but we ask that you ensure anything you publish is accurate, fair, and does not cross into the line of harassment, intimidation, fake allegations or harmful personal commentary. Please be reminded that digital communication in New Zealand are subject to Harmful Digital Communications Act of 2015. They're basically saying that because of his content, their team have had communications that they don't like.
To basically, if I kept posting any more videos, have the right to report me to NetSafe and the police. Now, this is where it gets really, really interesting. 2 hours before I posted that video, my agent got a text from the managing director saying, "Has Elijah received the letters? I heard he's posting again tonight." To me, that's implying, has he received the letters I'm clearly threatening him with? Now, I posted the video, and within about 20 minutes, my account was disabled. Now, the very next day, I had both Chloe Swarbrick and the Free Speech Union reach out to me, explaining that Huffer did not, in fact, have the right to report me to NetSafe or the police, and ultimately they have abused the Harmful Digital Communications Act. As mentioned before, a member of Parliament, Chloe Swarbrick, had to intervene to get my account reinstated.
That's crazy.
And considering the context provided and the fact that I'm a public figure on an ongoing national story, I have fair and good reason to assume that Huffer did have something to do with my account being disabled. Just the idea that a big brand like Huffer has tried to, I believe, silence me and control the narrative is like really upsetting and really concerning. Like, it just makes me think, is this the first incident that this has happened? Or is this just the first one to make the news?
I think they're feeling some kind of way about people realizing they're using AI. But why not stick up for yourself if a brand has used your likeness for their advertisements? It's like they're going to profit from.
Recently, I exposed this company for using AI-generated images of models. In response, they denied my claims on live TV. I got my account disabled, and they sent me multiple legal threats that were unethical and just simply uncalled for. Here's a quick update. 2 weeks have passed since I posted my concerns for Huffer's usage of AI, and they have since reached out to my agents to try and resolve this.
How do you resolve this, though? Do you pay someone and say, yes, we did use your face, here's your wage from it?
Meantime, they had requested that I not continue posting about my unnecessary treatment from Huffer and Managing Director Kate Berry. And just out of respect to the whole situation, I agreed to this. However, things have changed, and I will be open and honest in saying that this situation has taken a massive mental toll on me. I didn't really realize it until my nervous system shut down like a week ago. I got really sick. I haven't been able to work, eat, focus properly for the last 3-4 weeks. And I think it's just because I've been anchored to this situation and there seems to be no resolution. And
also, being threatened from a big brand must be like a little bit intimidating and must cause a lot of stress.
Don't believe that Huffer are going to work with us to find a resolution. So I'm going to tell the tale and we're going to move on. On June 11th, Huffer publicly apologizes for their misuse of AI.
Oh, let's have a look. There's been a lot of talk recently about some of our imagery, specifically around whether our images are generated using AI tools. Just saying AI is fine. We wanted to address the details of these questions directly. Huffer has always been shaped by people. Our team, our customers, our collaborators, and the creative communities that have been part of our story have shaped who we are. Those people and those relationships matter immensely to us, and we strive to protect those relations. We have evolved to use AI tools to help us day to day, but also like many other businesses, you don't have to. Different AI tools are used in areas such as rostering, budgeting, administration, marketing, and advertising too. Around the specific imagery being discussed, we want to be clear. We did not use this individual's face to create an AI model. We did generate the new image using an AI design tool, but the image was not engineered to resemble any specific person. When you generate an AI person, it has to pull from somewhere, right? At the same time, we are genuinely sorry to hear how upsetting this has been for models in question. Our community creators and models are a hugely important part of our brand. While we stand by our position, it was never our intention to make anyone feel that their identity, creativity, or contribution had been appropriated. For this reason, we've removed imagery from circulation. There must be something about advertising and making AI images off the products false advertising, because this happens in beauty a lot as well. You're not actually showing us the physical product as an AI generated version of that product. We remain committed to using New Zealand models and photographers to create imagery as well as UGC contributor content. This is not going away. Okay. This situation has also opened up a wider conversation about AI tools. It was already been a conversation. If you are in business and you don't know the already wide conversation about AI, then you shouldn't be in business. Full stop. We and how they can be used in a way that is thoughtful, responsible, and respectful. You can't generate people and it be thoughtful, respectful. Huffer welcomes this discussion. We recognize the concerns being raised. We are continuing to learn and will stay true to the people and communities that have always shaped us.
However, at the time, I was still under legal threat from them, and none of the individuals affected had received an apology nor compensation. So in response, I posted on my story that I was going to make comments on the
He says, update regarding Huffer's comments. Considering I am still being threatened by lawyers and all models involved have not received any personal apology and or compensation, I will be addressing this over the weekend. I'm currently focusing on work, and although I do not feel stressed, I am taking on a lot of stress that needs to be managed well. Modeling and stress don't go hand in hand, so I'll address everything in my own time, but more videos providing what I've been dealing with behind the scenes are to come.
this apology because I thought it was very disingenuous based on the circumstances. Now, very quickly, I received a bombardment of emails from them, two of which was them defending their actions, and then there was another one where they were asking me what I wanted to resolve this. Some of what was said in the emails was actually pretty fair. However, I feel like the timing of it came from a place of wanting to protect their brand image versus actually owning up to what they did and how they went about it. So the email I received on the same day that Huffer had publicly apologized read in summary this: we need to address the content that has been posted by your model. The content is damaging to our brand and harmful to our team.
If you use AI and someone picks it up, everyone who doesn't like AI is going to jump on that because they don't want you to use it because they don't want you ruining their planet. That's okay. Don't use AI or just stick to it. If you're going to be that into it,
The longer it remains public, the greater the impact on our business and our people. Still no apology, just Kate Berry expressing her concern for her brand's image. Now, the very next day I got sent this email and this email. And the tone was very different this time, with one of the emails even saying they're reaching out without prejudice. Again, the change of tone seems to only come after they've seen my story, letting my followers know I'm going to continue to make videos about Huffer. Not an apology, but a step in the right direction. Amidst the bombardment of emails, I had the Free Speech Union reach out to me on the 12th of June, notifying me that Huffer had actually abused the Harmful Digital Communications Act, and they wanted to send a legal letter on my behalf. 5 days later, New Zealand Herald posts an article stating, Huffer removes AI model image as Free Speech Union challenges alleged legal warning. What was once an AI concern is now evolved to what I believe is a brand bullying, threatening, and ultimately trying to silence me. I would just like to clarify, if this brand had just admitted to what they had done, I wouldn't have cared so much, because AI is such uncharted territory right now, so mistakes can happen. But what wasn't a mistake is how they've decided to treat me and everybody involved. Now, the fact that they have tried to use their power and still are using their power to belittle me is absolutely appalling, and is a real stark insight into how this beloved Kiwi brand operates. I'm just disappointed, with their response, and I really hope that they do come to the table with some sort of accountability rather than this continuation of cherry-picked truths and overall denial. June 14th, Huffer asked what I wanted to resolve this. I wrote back suggesting that 1, they post a video apology on TikTok and Instagram, apologizing to the general public, all the individuals involved, myself, for how I've been treated in this whole situation.
So it's clear they've done something wrong now. They're aware they're doing something wrong.
Number 2 is that they compensate all the individuals involved, all 9 models and the photographer. And number 3 is that they compensate me for the hurt and humiliation from this whole situation. This has been dragged out for nearly a month now, and a lot of my time, energy, and focus has been sucked into this because there hasn't been a consolidation. Now, over the last 2 weeks, we were so close to consolidating this whole situation.
Oh, God.
They even sent me a written apology that, although it was not public, I was willing to be flexible here to find a resolution. They agreed to compensate me, and I believe they had already compensated 4 out of the 9 models involved. Now, although they were willing to pay us all to make amends, they did put a term in the agreements that meant that we were no longer able to speak about Huffer.
Sure.
Now, our biggest concern is if we did sign and they continued to do what they have been doing, we would no longer be
You
able
can't say
to
anything. You know what? At the end of the day, don't take the money.
speak out about this. Now, although they were willing to pay us all to make amends, they did put a term in the agreement that meant we were no longer able to speak about Huffer.
Just said that, no?
Which for us was a big concern, because if we did sign and they continue to do what they have been doing, we would no longer be in a position to speak out about it. Now, we were going back and forth for about 2 weeks trying to find a resolution, but it started to feel like they were just stalling us and trying to let this whole situation die down, which I found to be somewhat true. It wasn't until 3rd of July I received a legal letter from Huffer for defamation, and
Again,
also
more? Oh my God,
was
give
notified
up.
that there was a media statement that came out from Huffer in an article by the Post regarding a forensic report conducted by Huffer. Why are we conducting a forensic report, Huffer? Why has it got to this stage?
This is so
unnecessary.
strange.
Like, I don't get it.
It's so strange.
Now, I've seen on the article that they also mentioned that a few of the models had been paid for cancelled shoots, commercial disruption, and uncertainty, which is just simply not true. And the only reason I know that is because within my settlement, I made a requirement that all models and all those that were affected were to be compensated. So if somebody was paid, I was notified. If they were paid for any other reason, I should have been notified of this, not find out on an article by the Post. This is actually such a wicked tactic. Get a model to sign an NDA agreement.
I don't understand, because why defamation when the fact is they have used AI to make models?
Where they can't
Why is
speak
that-
out about
why
why they got
defamation?
paid. And then Huffer can just go to the media and say that they got paid for
Right.
X, Y, Z reason, and that doesn't mean that the AI accusations are true,
Yeah.
because the model can't speak out about it, which is
Yeah.
nuts. Like, Huffer, why are you doing this? Like, I don't understand it. It's actually crazy. Now, Huffer, what you don't understand is that I put my integrity above my modeling career, and I've come to grip with the idea that you may take me to court and I may lose on a technicality and
Do
end
it.
up in a large amount of debt. That is the worst case scenario that I've come to terms with and I'm very comfortable with. But what I'm not comfortable with is not speaking out about a brand being unethical, being shady, and ultimately just being bullies.
Okay, so that's where we're at with this situation. I think that's absolutely insane. A brand doing the most to cover their backs when you could just be like, oh, sorry, we used AI. We know we disappointed you. We've compensated everyone. End of story. End of story. It's really not that fucking difficult. So strange. So strange. You're gonna have to let me know your opinions on this down below. It's just so... if you're using AI to create people, you are taking someone's face. That's it. That's it. All right, thank you for joining me. Consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.